My name is Sylvia, and what I'm going to tell you was told to me by my grandmother about a strange incident that happened in their hometown after the death of their local chairman by the name of Mutyaba. She told me that during the early 1990s, the HIV virus got into the country and majority of the population had no idea what those affected were suffering from. Some people related it to witchcraft, especially those who mainly believed in our traditions, while some who were Christians saw it as a punishment from God. Thus, it was high time for repentance. During those times, many people, mostly those who got affected, gave their lives to the Lord. But still, people died each day, not knowing that it was a sexually transmitted disease. Therefore, there was increased spread of HIV virus because in African culture, most men were polygamous, and this contributed to the high spread of the virus since there were no condoms, and government was also not aware of this kind of disease. By then, my grandmother's community had a local chairperson, known by the name of Mutyaba, who got affected and had 8 wives with 32 children. He lost 7 of his wives to HIV in his presence. And with time, he was also growing weak each day, with dry cough, weight loss, and terrible skin rashes. He thought he was being bewitched by people who were envious about his progress in the community. And my grandmother told me that when a person is about to die, he or she truly knows that. So Mutyaba knew his time had come, and he told some elders in their community, and my grandmother was among them. He gave them a will, which they had to strictly follow when he died. He told them that they will have to mourn for a week, which is not the normal case in our African culture, and that only a white truck car is supposed to carry his body to where he was to be buried. And during the burial, nobody should cry, only laugh, until he was fully covered with soil. My grandmother and some elders saw this as an impossibility, but accepted it as a way of approval. But in their minds, they had their plans based on our traditions as Africans. My grandmother told me that Mutyaba died on Wednesday, just 2 days after telling the elders his will on Sunday. As a community, since he was their local chairperson, they mourned for the first 3 days, that is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Sunday, they prepared his body to be taken to his burial town, and they hired a gray pickup truck to transport his body. When they carried the body to the gray pickup truck, it got a technical problem and failed to move. And yet, when the truck had arrived, it sounded fine, without any fault. Remembering that Mutyaba had wanted his body to be carried off in a white truck, not a gray one, they removed his body from the truck. Then they tried to start the engine again, and sure enough, it started normally. Although some people thought it was a bad idea, they carried Mutyaba's body to the gray truck once again. As soon as his body was in the truck, the engine died a second time. This is when they started to realize that Mutyaba had really meant what he told them. On offloading the body for the second time, the gray truck started normally and moved away from the scene. This is something that amused all the people who had gathered, and many believed that Mutyaba was around and watching everything going on. Remember, they had arranged for his burial to be on that Sunday, not next Wednesday, as said in Mutyaba's will. They decided to hire a white truck to transport his body as he had wished. Still, this other truck failed to start and looked like it also had a serious technical problem. And this is when they all agreed to follow what Mutyaba wanted to be done. Burial was postponed until next Wednesday, marking 7 days of mourning, and during his burial, some close friends and his children started crying, and yet he had told them that they should only laugh. When the people started crying, it rained for almost 2 hours. When the people all finally started laughing, the rain stopped. This is when Mutyaba's body was buried. My grandmother told me that such scenarios still take place today.